A grade 11 pupil is dead, while another is fighting for his life in ICU following a stabbing incident at their school. The incident took place outside Kalabocha Secondary School in Vlakfontein, south of Johannesburg. The incidents are suspected to be the result of gangsterism in the area. The school's principal has since been transferred to another district, but parents remain up in arms. eNCA's Heidi Giokos was at the school earlier, and she joins me now in studio. Heidi, you spoke to some of the pupils earlier. What did they have to say about these horrific incidents?
Yes, I think the learners are really in distress, and understandably so, given the fact that they have been complaining about violence at that school for some time, and they claim that nobody has done anything about it. I think what's also quite alarming is that serious allegations have been made against the principal of the secondary school in Vlakfontein. The pupils are saying that the principal never arrives to school sober. He completely ignores their concerns, and they're also claiming that violence like this, it's not the first time they're seeing violence like this, or seeing a pupil pass away because of being stabbed or whatever else the case might be. So learners are saying that the school has become a war zone. They don't know if they're going to get back home safely, if they're going to be alive. They worry about going to school because of the violence, and of course the community also very, very unhappy with what's happening. And I think what is another concern is the fact that a 21-year-old grade 11 pupil has been arrested in connection with the stabbing of the grade 11 pupil that tragically passed away, as well as the grade 11 pupil that's still in ICU. So it's a very volatile situation, and this just speaks about the serious violence that we are seeing in schools. It's not the first time we've heard of stabbings happening to fellow learners. So I want us to listen to what one of the learners told us, where she said they don't even have furniture to sit on when they're writing exams. They write their exams while standing. So there is a huge problem at this particular school. Let's listen in on that.
I would really like to see change in my school concerning the security first, because we're not safe. The incident that happened here at school, it was not the first incident to happen. I think it's not the first time, it's not the first year. Every year in the school, children die. Every year, every month. Sometimes we get, like, it's devastating. It's painful to see, because you wake up early in the morning going to school, knowing very well that you're not safe. You wake up in the morning going to school, wondering if you'll come back. It's painful to come here and learn, knowing very well that we have no furniture to learn.
Heidi, what are their parents saying about the situation?
Yes, so I think the parents are threatening to possibly shut down that school if nothing is being done about this. We do know that the Department of Education in the province was there today trying to listen to some of the concerns and trying to find a solution. What's alarming, though, is that the principal has not been suspended, despite the fact that parents were told today that the principal has been suspended with immediate effect. According to the department, that is not the case because they need to follow processes. But the parents want the principal gone. They're also complaining that officials have completely let them down. The parents claimed yesterday that when this happened, they called the police and they claimed they were completely ignored. But what was very scary was that a mother who has 3 children in the secondary school heard how everybody was screaming and there was commotion, and she lives very close to the school, almost opposite. She walked out, her children ran into the house while she was trying to close the door. A pupil with a panga came in, pushed the door open and cut her arm very badly. She's in complete bandages, and also on her right and her left arm. And she says that she will never take her children back to that school, and no child should ever go to that school because of the state of violence that's currently underway there. Let's listen to what this mother told us.
Indaba beyilwela abantwana angiyazi, akekho yaziyo ukuthi bebelela ini. So nje ngilimele, umuntu wami ukhathekile, ithambo lami linqamukile nala. Ngalimala nala. So ngahamba ngaye esibhedlela ke bangistitchile bangikhonkile. Ngibonge nje ukuthi ngiright nabantwana babe right.
Are your children going to come back to the school?
No.
Where will you be taking them?
I think bazoze babuyele esikoleni next year ngizofuna esinye isikole because lesi asikho right for abantwana bami. Actually for abantwana bonke, not abantwana bami, abantwana bonke. abekho safe kulesi sikole, abekho. Lesi sikole si-corrupt kakhulu, abekho safe abantwana. Uma nje bayabhala basabhalanga abantwana ngenxa yalento eyenzeka esikoleni.
Heidi, it's very sad that the situation has been allowed to escalate to this point where one pupil has lost their life, another is fighting for their life in ICU, and where parents are also being attacked as part of the violence at the school. But more worrying at this time of year is also the fact that pupils are currently writing exams. What's the impact been on them?
So the impact was huge. We saw buses arriving at the school early this morning and they had to be sent away to neighbouring schools because matrics were writing life sciences today, a very important paper. Every paper is important, of course, but they had to be accommodated at neighbouring schools. Fortunately, these schools have examination centres to accommodate the learners. It's almost 100 learners, if I'm not mistaken. And the other big issue is the fact that you have other grades also writing exams. For example, the grade 10s were writing physics today, and they unfortunately were unable to write because of the commotion. The gates were locked, nobody was allowed access into the school, and there's also a big issue about the fact that the parents are almost blocking this from happening because they want the issue addressed. They're saying if the school opens, it's just going to be ignored, nothing is going to happen. But let's listen to what the Department of Education in the province had to say about how they're trying to sort this out and make sure that this does not happen and that examinations can continue come Monday.
Fortunately, the members of the community agreed, because on that score, again, we had to plead with them to say, let's allow the learners to go and write at the neighboring school. They then allowed that to happen. That's why we could manage to address them. So we are happy that they wrote, but we pleaded with the community because after our public meeting, we had then have a stakeholder engagement with all the leadership in the area to say, let's allow the school to continue while we resolve issues in this area. So we agreed that on Monday, learners must come back. We'll monitor the situation. We are not sure what's going to happen because now violence perpetually continues in this area. So we'll monitor closely and check on what happens.
And Heidi, ultimately every pupil at that school loses out because of a situation that has not been brought under control fast enough.
Definitely, and the fact that we're hearing about how this could possibly be linked to gangsterism, I think that's a huge concern. This doesn't just happen in one day or in 5 minutes where pupils argue with each other. Apparently this has been going on for some time and nothing has really been done about it. You cannot have learners walking into school property or into classrooms with pangas. And if you do know that there is a school or a group of pupils that are problematic, then they should be searched and the situation should be brought under control. And I think this is where the allegation comes in, that the principal has not been listening to the learners. But we do know that the MEC tomorrow will be visiting the family of the pupil who lost his life and hopefully give us an update on what we can expect, because this cannot continue in schools. Schools should be safe. They shouldn't be war zones.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for bringing us that report, eNCA's Heidi Giokos.